everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm gonna be introducing you to my newest project. I've never done this before. Let's see how it goes. I'm kind of nervous, I'm not gonna lie, but I am talking about Pan That palette. So what this project, if you are into project pans and all of that, I'm pretty sure that you know what this is about. It just means to either touch pan or finish a full eyeshadow palette, like every single shade. Again, it can mean two things. It can mean either to really empty it out, like completely finished it, or to touch pan on each one of the shades, or just to see how, you know, how much you can do within a certain amount of time, which is exactly what I am gonna be doing. But before we continue, if you're new here, hello, my name is Carla and I am a makeup enthusiast, loves to create looks and have fun with the makeup that I already have. I occasionally buy and review new products for you guys, but the main focus of my channel is to inspire you into using what you already have, what you already own, trying not to spend so much money, not buying everything out there. So if that is something that you are interested in, if you're interested in project pans, shop my stash, multiple looks with one palette, in this kind of video, now Pan That palette, make sure that you subscribe to my channel before you leave. And now, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so like I said, this project, it's new for me. I've been on YouTube for almost 2 years now, and I have never done this before. I had an eyeshadow palette in my project pan, but my goal was not to pan each shade or anything like that. My only goal was to touch pan on one of the shades, and that was it. So for this time this year, noticing that I had so many eyeshadow palettes and I only have 2 pans within my whole eyeshadow palette collection, guys, only 2 pans. I decided that I think this is a project that I need to do and make sure that I get more use out of my eyeshadow palettes. So for this year, I'm gonna be seeing how much progress, how many pans, how many times I can use the Subculture palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is the palette that I chose to put in this project. And by the way, if you see, you know, I'm wearing a sweatshirt and everything right now, or a hoodie. It really is cold outside here in Texas today, or North Texas. We had a winter storm coming in. We had some snow this morning. We have been since yesterday, or no, I'm lying, ever since Saturday night. Currently it's Monday afternoon. Ever since Saturday night, we have been below freezing temperatures. I think currently we are like 10 degrees Fahrenheit, which for Celsius that's like -7, -8, -9 degrees. We have reached -11 Celsius degree Celsius. Anyway, but yeah, it's really cold, so I'm wearing a sweatshirt. Okay, anyway, let's continue, guys. So like I said, this is the palette that I chose, and the reason why I decided to go with this one, I was between this one and the Modern Renaissance. Modern Renaissance, it's very monochromatic and neutral in my opinion, and I needed a little bit more color, so I chose to put this one in my Pan That palette project. And I feel like this is the palette that I had in my head since I knew I wanted to do this project. The reason why I went with Anastasia, I have many other palettes that I kind of thought about, but this is the one that I was like, no, I need to do this one, I need to do this one. And it is because I've heard, I've never done it, but I've heard that this older palettes from Anastasia Beverly Hills are easier to pan, or really quick to pan. And in order for me to not get discouraged, I figured that it would probably be best if I put something that I know, or that it will be easier and I can see more progress sooner, as opposed to a Natasha and Ona that it took me between 50 and 60 uses of one shade for it to be panned. So I definitely knew that with the amount of makeup that I wear, that was not going to be possible. And I just wanted to have a little bit more variety in color, guys. Let me show you this palette. Let me take this out before it breaks. This is how this palette looks like right now. I have used it already before I started. Well, first of all, what I have on my eyes right now, it's this palette, right? But before I did this, the palette was almost brand new. I had only used the shades Cube, Roxy, Edge, and Rowdy. Those were the only 4 shades that I had used before. One of them was to create a Throwback Thursday look, and then the Edge, I used it to create a look with the one palette that she released, Fall Romance. Yes, the Fall Romance palette. That palette was terrible. But yes, so those were the only shades that I had used. For today's look, I used the Dawn shade as an all over, you know, just to set my primer. Then I used this Destiny shade on my crease. I used Fudge a little bit on my crease also, and then this Untamed shade on my outer corner, Electric on my lid, and last but not least the shade Cube on my inner corner. Oh, also I used Fudge on my bottom lashes. So yeah, that's how I created this look. I did not record it, I'm sorry guys. I will do better, and I'm gonna go back to the whole Throwback Thursday starting this week, but it's been hard. I'm not gonna lie, it's been hard. My energy levels are not where they used to be. But yes guys, so this is the palette. I of course took pictures of it before I used it today and after I used it. And what I am gonna be doing on the updates of this palette is that I'm just gonna be showing you from month to month, not month to month, but from every single use throughout that month. And I'm also going to be probably posting on Instagram, right? On Instagram, I'm just going to be like, oh, this is however many times I've used this shade and this shade and this shade and this shade. That's it. Just like a picture with a number next to the shade or something like that. For YouTube, I am going to have pictures of every time that I use it. That way you can see the slow progress of this palette. I'm also going to be taking pictures of each one of the looks that I create with this, and I'm going to be putting it on highlights on my Instagram. That way if you need inspiration, if you have this palette, you know, you can just see those out there. Will I be recording a video for each one of these looks? No, but you know, it's just some sort of accountability for me, and to see how many times I've used this palette, and just to see how many looks I can come up with, and also just save them in case that there's one that I really like. So I'm like, oh, okay, I can go back to that and kind of remember what I did for that look. But yes, guys, this is, like I said, the project or the Pandit palette project. Never done this before. Hopefully I don't get burned out on this palette. I am pretty sure I will. But what I want to do this time around, I don't want to restrict myself into only using this palette for the sake of touching pan on one of the shades. Like, I want to keep enjoying the rest of the palettes that I have, and I guess that I will try to, no, I don't guess, I will make it my goal to use this palette at least once a week. That way, you know, I get some uses out of this. And hopefully we can see some good progress. Hopefully it is true that these are easy shades to pan, because yeah, I'm pretty sure that I'm also going to be using this palette along with other palettes, just because this one does not have a whole lot of shimmers, and you know, just things like this. This could be one thing that either I use the palette as a whole, or I just use some of these shades to complement other eyeshadow palettes. I have no rules whatsoever on that. It's not like, oh no, I gotta use the palette completely for a look. Like, no. Again, the point is to see how much I can do. Maybe I can do something like a focus shade, you know. I'm pretty sure that Dawn might be, either Dawn or Cube might be one of the first, sorry about my dog, it's barking in the background. I'm pretty sure that I can either do Dawn or Cube to be one of the first shades to pan, just because Dawn is really easy to use to set primer, you know, the eyeshadow primer, and Cube is a very easy one for inner corner. Although I'll say this, I don't think it's like super bright for inner corner. I'm gonna have to find like some other use for that shade. But yes guys, this video is gonna be or it is very short and sweet. I just wanted to come up here and say what I am going to be doing with this one. I think that I'm also going to be joining a different project. I don't remember the name, of course, because I did not check it out before I started, before I started recording this video. And if I am not mistaken, I think that the name of the project, it's called Enjoy Your Eyeshadows, because I remember that the initials of it or whatever, it was like ice, you know. E for enjoy, Y for your, E for eye, and S for shadows. I believe that this and all it is about is just to use your eyeshadow palettes, take a picture with them, or take a picture of the looks that you created with that palette, and do an update each month of what eyeshadow palettes you used, which one did you really enjoy, which one you did not, and why, all of those kind of things. This project, I believe, I am not sure, again, sorry, I did not do my research beforehand. I should have done that. I'm sorry, guys. But I know that I saw this video on Debbie's channel, Debbie B. I'm gonna link her video and channel in the description box down below, and I just thought that it was really interesting. But I do believe that it's her project. Yeah, she started it because she was going over the rules and all of that, and she said, like, if there's a month that you don't have any updates, then skip the month, or you know, all of that kind of thing. But she basically said you just need to use the palettes that you want, whatever you want. Make sure that you take pictures of the looks that you create with that, put them on the video, and explain which one of the palettes was your, like, oh, she had words for this, like the pit, meaning the lowest of the lowest, you know, that you did not like, and why, and like your high one, like your something. So yeah, again, I'll watch again the video and I'll see what I do. But that's definitely another project that I'm very interested in joining, just because it will force me to create, or not to create, it will force me to use my eyeshadow palettes a little bit more and to put makeup a little bit more, which I have not done consistently. Last year was a really rough year. I feel like I've said this many times. I'm sorry, guys. But yes, I just, you know, I want to make it my goal again to wear makeup as much as possible this year. And I have started a little bit, okay? Last week whenever I went back to work, I started at least putting on a little bit of mascara. That was like my step one, mascara. At least something is done. Hopefully later on we'll add, I don't know, maybe concealer, mascara and concealer. I don't know, something, but just start little by little adding, again, more makeup into my routine, because it makes me feel good, you know, it makes me feel put together. And lately I don't feel good or put together. But yes, plus I have so many products, and I want to make sure that I use them, and I want to make sure that I create content for you guys, and that I inspire you to do all of these things and not buy everything. But yes, guys, like I said, this is going to be the palette that I'm going to be trying to pan. I'm going to be trying to touch pan on each one of the shades in here. We'll see how that goes. I'm kind of nervous, but and the reason why, I know I'm sounding a little bit too crazy. The only reason why I'm nervous is because I know how I am whenever it comes to project pans. I tend to just focus on those products and forget about everything else. So I am nervous about doing that with this palette. And if that happens, I'm probably gonna have to put a pause to my project, not my project pan, but to my Panda palette. Hopefully that does not happen. That's the reason why I'm also choosing to join the other product from Debbie. That way I force myself to use more stuff and not just this. So yeah, that is it, guys. I'm sorry, I know that this is kind of like a boring intro because there's nothing to do or say or talk, or you know, there's nothing, not a whole lot to see, but just the beginning of it. But hopefully by next month I'm gonna be doing updates. I want to say around the 15th of each month. just because today is 15th and I'm just starting it, so that way I get myself some time to use it from here till February 15th. So around the 14th to 16th of each month, within those 3 days, I will be coming up with the update for this video and project pan as usual at the beginning of the month. But that is it for today, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please make sure that you give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click on the bell notification button so you don't miss any single one of my videos, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.